Hello, everybody. This is Bernie Strom, and welcome to my YouTube channel for September baseball here at Field of Dreams. We are into the pennant races, and I need to turn down the monitor. There it is. It's down to 0 now. Anyway, we're down to September. We are going to do half the month of September. We may have a little clearer picture on who's going to the playoffs by then. And then again, maybe we won't. Let's take a minute and just go over the standings. Manchester, 79-49, 2-game lead over Washington in the Suck It Up division. And St. Louis, 5.5 games out, has a comfortable lead over Lehigh, who's 10 games out here in the beginning of September. The first team gets a bye, and teams 2 and 3 play each other in each division. No more tiers division. Real Chicago, slim 1.5 game lead over Union Stewards, who have come charging out of nowhere, similar to what they did last year when I led from the opening bell to 2 weeks into September when Union Stewards took over and won the division. Carolina is in a battle for the last playoff spot with Chicago and Lancaster. Anyway, without any further ado, we have a great series. We're going to, it's a 3-game series between Washington and Manchester for first place. We'll sim the first 2 games. We'll play the third, and then we'll do some simming and then play a game on the 15th, and then we'll wrap it up, and maybe Steve will do a broadcast tomorrow. Anyway, here we go. Washington at Manchester for first place. Washington squeaks by Manchester 4-3. Cooper over Parnell. That reduces the lead to 1 game. Union Stewards chasing Real Chicago, who is idle today, and they lose to Lancaster. Lancaster picks up a half game. Union Stewards loses a half a game now, 2 games back. Chicago at Carolina, they're fighting for it, and Chicago wins 4-1. And a game that nobody cares about, not even me, and I'm playing in it. Gary at Vegas. Vegas wins 9-2. We're on to the second. Game number 2, Washington at Manchester. This is for a tie of first place if Washington can win. But they don't. Manchester comes back, defeats Washington 9-5. Scott over Paulette. It's now a 2-game lead, so the game we play tomorrow will be an important one. Crystal Lake at Lehigh. Crystal Lake 7-4 over Lehigh as they fall a little further back. Edmonton at Beantown. Both of those guys are out of it. Beantown wins 6-5. Chicago at Carolina fighting for that third spot. Carolina wins at home against Chicago 3-2. They've now split that series, 1 apiece so far. Philly at Real Chicago. David really needs to win as many games as possible, but Philly beats them 5-4. Gary at Vegas, the I don't care who wins bowl, 5-4 Vegas. San Francisco at St. Louis. St. Louis wants to pick up a half game on Lehigh, and they do it with a 4-2 win. Schmidt over Denny, and Union Stewards looking to beat Lancaster, and they do 12-7. We go on to the third. Anyway, here we go. San Francisco at St. Louis. St. Louis now has got a 5.5 game lead over Lehigh, looking to make it 6. They do. They shut out San Francisco 4-0. They now lead Lehigh by 6 games. And we're going to play Washington at Manchester for first place at stake here. Here we go. Let's see who's playing. Max Lanier is pitching on short rest. I have no idea why that's going on, but Max Lanier is on short rest. He's got 90 pitches, though. It's not that short. Atlee Hammaker is facing the Clowns. I know, that's what you told me. We're at Ebbets Field, and we don't have to do any arranging. I may have to put a picture or two in because of the way these files are handled. But we have Atlee Hammaker 11-8 at home with a 2.72 ERA, facing Max Lanier 17-12, an even 4.00. Is sunny out, 14 miles an hour. That wind is out to center field. The lineup for Washington has Curtis in left field batting first, Whitaker at second base second, Dahlin at short third, Harper catching fourth, Slaughter in right field fifth, Bruthers at first base sixth, Babe Ruth all the way down to seventh. That's an interesting spot in the order. Playing DH, Moore in center field eighth, Korowski at third base ninth. That's a little different looking lineup for the Washington Clowns that I've seen in the past. DiMaggio, Ashburn, and Ott in the outfield for Manchester. Roland, Bell, Robinson, and Gehrig left to right in the infield. Slot catching. Hammaker on the mound. Curtis stepping in. Jamie's going with a new lineup. Let's see how it's going to work.
Curtis struck out, 1 out.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing something new today. I'm going to do what Steve does and have a summary of the play done by the machine. Hopefully it'll save my voice. It's been given out after a game and a half. I'm just trying to preserve it a little bit as Hammaker faces Whitaker.
Whitaker struck out, 2 out.
Hammaker now facing Dahlin. Dahlin at short, hitting third. And there's
Dahlin line to short, 3 out.
The end of the inning, we go to the bottom of the first. Washington, nothing. And the Red Bolts coming to bat. Batting order for Manchester will have Votto, the DH, leading off, Slot batting second. Catching, Gehrig hitting third at first base, hitting cleanup, Joe DiMaggio on left. Mellott, fifth in right field. Scott Rowland at third base, batting sixth. Jay Bell at short, seventh. Robinson at second base, hitting eighth, and Ashburn in center field, hitting ninth with a 324 average. There's Curtis in left, Moore in center, Slaughter in right. Infield has Korowski, Dahlin, Whitaker, Bruthers. Harper catching. Lanier pitching. Bottom of the inning's underway.
Votto fly to deep left, 1 out.
Lanier to face Slot.
Slot struck out, 2 out.
And up comes Lou Gehrig. Korowski.
Gehrig grounded to third, 3 out.
Good play by Korowski. We head to the top of the second. There's no score here at Ebbets Field. I'd like to say hello to Slash, who's coming he's a spectator, unfortunately. Slash team, I thought was going to do well, but somehow he's been in a slump and he's fallen out of the race. Victor Morati stops in. Hello, Victor. Nice to see you. Hope you enjoy the game. Okay, top of the second, Washington setting up Harper, Slaughter, and Bruthers. Ground ball to Bell.
Harper grounded to short, 1 out.
Slaughter up. And as a fly to center.
Slaughter fly to deep center, 2 out.
Dan Bruthers.
Bruther struck out, 3 out.
We head to the bottom of the second. No score. DiMaggio, Ott, and Roland due up.
DiMaggio struck out, 1 out.
Ott on the ground, right back to the mound.
Ott grounded to the pitcher, 2 out.
Scott Roland.
Roland struck out, 3 out.
Going to the top of the third. No score. These pitchers look good tonight.
Ruth struck out, 1 out.
More to deep left. DiMaggio watches it go.
Moore hit a solo homer down the left field line, 365 feet. Washington 1, Manchester 0.
Washington breaks the ice. Up comes Karowski. Up the middle. Bell's got it.
Karowski grounded to short, 2 out.
Chad Curtis up. Base hit.
Curtis lined a single between third and short.
Lou Whitaker 0 for 1. Throw to first. There he goes.
Curtis stole second.
Whitaker up. He's 0 for 1 today. Runner on second. Slow roller to Jackie Robinson.
Whitaker grounded to second, 3 out.
Head to the bottom of the third. The Clowns leading the Red Bolts 1-0.
Bell struck out, 1 out.
Jackie Robinson.
Robinson lined to first, 2 out.
And Richie Aspern.
Ashburn grounded to the pitcher, 3 out.
Go to the top of the fourth. It's Washington 1. Manchester 0. Hello, Dwayne. Thank you for coming in. Base hit, the left center field. Dolan rounds first.
Dolan doubled off the wall in left center.
Brian Harper up. Runner on second. Ball heading towards the stands. But Roland makes a great play.
Harper popped to third, 1 out.
Slaughter up. Runner in scoring position. Ground ball up the middle. Bell's got it.
Slaughter grounded to short, Dolan to third, 2 out.
And Bruthers on the ground to Roland. It's going to be close. They got him.
Bruthers grounded to third, 3 out.
Outside of the home run, this has been quite a pitcher's duel here as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Top of the order, Votto, Slot, and Gehrig.
Votto lined a single to center.
Don Slot up. He puts down a bunt.
Slot bunted out to the pitcher, Votto to second, sacrifice, 1 out.
Votto the tying run. Gehrig up.
Gehrig struck out, 2 out.
And DiMaggio's up. Lanier
DiMaggio struck out,
bears down.
3 out.
We head to the top of the fifth. Still 1-0 Washington. Babe Ruth's hit by a pitch.
Ruth hit by pitch.
Terry Moore, runner on first. That looked like a bunt. And
Moore bunted out to the catcher. Ruth to second. Sacrifice. 1 out.
1 out. Runner in scoring position for Whitey Kurowski.
Kurowski struck out. 2 out.
Chad Curtis, still same situation. Runner on second. But he hits it back to the mound.
Curtis grounded to the pitcher. 3 out.
And there we go. We're halfway home here at Ebbets Field. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left on for Washington. Manchester, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. Malott leads off here in the bottom of the 5th, followed by Rowland and Bell. Deep into left field. Curtis has to watch this one out of here. Malott.
Ott hit a solo homer down the left field line, 368 feet. Washington 1, Manchester 1.
This game is all tied as Scott Rowland steps into the batter's box. He's going to promptly single the left.
Rowland singled to left center.
Jay Bell up. Nobody out. Will he bunt? Let's find out. He does.
Bell bunted out to the pitcher. Rowland to second. Sacrifice. 1 out.
Mark from Beantown stops by. We have a runner in scoring position for Jackie Robinson, who promptly puts it on the ground. Kurowski to first.
Robinson grounded to third. 2 out.
Richie Ashburn, the last chance. No, he's hit. He is not the last chance to knock in that run.
Ashburn hit by pitch.
Runners on first and second. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run already in. Joey Votto.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Max Lanier hits a batter, walks a
Votto
batter.
walked. Rowland to third. Ashburn to second.
Bases are loaded. Don Slott has had a great season. I say that, let me look at his numbers. 271 hitter, 9 home runs, 49 RBIs in 92 games. That's, for Don Slott, that's pretty good, I think. But Lanier
Slott
struck him out.
3 out.
Bases left full. We head to the 6th. It's 1-all. Whitaker, Dolan, and Harper to face Hamaker. His only blemish, he gave up a home run. Whitaker, it's going to be close.
Whitaker grounded to third.
Whitaker's
1
out by a half a step. Bill Dolan, 1 for 2, base hit to right.
Dolan lined a single between first and second.
Hamaker facing Harper. There goes the runner.
Dolan stole second.
Number 35 for Dolan. Harper to center field. Great play.
Harper fly to shallow center.
Number 41 for Ashburn. Slaughter walks.
Slaughter walked.
Hamaker facing Bruthers. Go ahead run on second. 2 down. And Hamaker loses Bruthers. And just like the last,
Bruthers
just
walked.
like
Dolan to
just
third.
like the last
Slaughter
inning,
to second.
just like the last inning for Manchester, the pitcher has walked the bases loaded, and they got to face Babe Ruth.
Ruth struck out. 3 out.
There you go. Great pitching as we go to the bottom of the sixth, tied at 1. Hey, Jeff Hunter and David Landau. Bottom of the sixth finds Garrick DiMaggio and Ott coming to bat to left field.
Garrick fly to deep left, 1 out.
DiMaggio to short.
DiMaggio grounded to short, 2 out.
Ott, who's homered in the game, flies to right.
Ott fly to shallow right, 3 out.
3 up, 3 down. We head to the seventh, all tied at 1. First place is at stake. If Washington wins, they're a game out. If Manchester wins, they're 3 games up. The big difference. Moore, Karowski, and Curtis. Base hit.
Moore grounded a single between third and short.
Both starters still in the game.
Tate.
Moore gets back safely. Ball gets away from slot,
Ball.
but nobody goes anywhere. Deep fly ball to left field. Karowski is off the wall. Moore coming around to score.
Karowski doubled off the wall down the left field line. Moore scored. Washington 2, Manchester 1.
Washington takes the lead as Chad Curtis comes up. He lays down a bunt. And there's going to be an error on this play. Error number 5 on Don
Curtis
Slot.
bunted to the catcher, safe on an error. Karowski to third, sacrifice.
Runners on first and third. Washington threatening. Lou Whitaker up. Ball up the middle. Second for 1. Back to first. They got him.
Whitaker grounded to second. Second to first double play. Karowski scored. 2 out. Washington 3, Manchester 1.
Washington gets an insurance run. However, no RBI because of the double play as Bill Dolan steps in. Dolan down the right field line.
Dolan doubled off the wall down the first base line.
Another insurance run in scoring position for Harper. Hammaker's still in there, but he hits it on the ground to Robinson.
Harper grounded to second, 3 out.
We head to the bottom of the seventh. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Washington. 7 left on, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Red Bulls. 4 runners left on. Lanier, both starting pitchers still in there. Lanier to face Roland, Bell, and Robinson as Manchester tries to tie this game up. That ball's down the left field line. I think it's fair. Roland's going to end up at second.
Roland doubled off the wall down the third base line.
Runner on second for the Red Bulls. Jay Bell coming up 0 for 1 today. And as a base hit to left field.
Bell singled to left center, Roland to third.
Runners on first and third. Roland held up, didn't want to chance it with nobody out. Jackie Robinson Robinson 0 for 2 today, looking to make this game a little closer. And look at that. Oh, just foul as it reached the wall in right field. A long strike for Jackie Robinson.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Lanier loses them. Bases are loaded, no one out.
Robinson walked, Bell to second.
This is where a live manager might replace the pitcher, but we're not going to see that. So Richie Esperin steps in. On the ground to third, Kurowski to second for one, over to first. They get the double play, and a
Ashburn
run
grounded to
scores.
first, second to first double play, Roland scored, Bell to third, 2 out, Washington 3 Manchester 2.
I think Washington was happy to trade 2 outs for a run. However, there is the tying run 90 feet away on third, and a dangerous hitter in Votto due up. Hits it back to the mound.
Votto grounded to the pitcher, 3 out.
We head to the top of the 8th, 3-2 Clowns. Slaughter, Bruthers, and Ruth. Washington looking for more insurance.
Slaughter grounded to second, 1 out.
Bruthers up.
Bruthers fly to deep left center, 2 out.
Babe Ruth. This is deep. And guess what? There's your another insurance run. Babe Ruth hits a home run off Atlee Hammaker. Home run number 50 for Babe Ruth in the season.
Ruth hit a solo homer down the right field line, 314 feet, Washington 4 Manchester 2.
It's his league-leading 50th home run, and Moore, who homered earlier in the game, is up.
Moore fly to right center, 3 out.
We head to the bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Washington. Lanier still in the game, pitching the slot.
Slot grounded a single between first and second.
Gehrig up. And there's another base hit.
Gehrig singled between third and short, Slot to second.
Here comes MV, 2 runs down, 2 runners on, nobody out for Jolton Joe DiMaggio. Up the middle, Whitaker to Dahlin. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's a double play.
DiMaggio grounded to second, second to first double play, Slot to third, 2 out.
Slot on third. He's the third run, represents the third run of the game for Manchester, 90 feet away. Mel Ott up. And he pops it up in foul territory.
Ott popped to first, 3 out.
We head to the 9th, 4-2 Clowns. Starters still in the game. Kurowski up.
Kurowski line to second, 1 out.
Chad Curtis.
Curtis fly to shallow right, 2 out.
Carlos. How you doing? Thanks for coming by. And Whitaker. Backhanded by Bell. 1, 2, 3, go the Clowns.
Whitaker grounded to short, 3 out.
We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Washington leads 4-2. Lanier is tiring. Will he be removed? He's on short rest. He only had his estimated pitch count was 90. Let's see what happens as Scott Rowland steps in. Base hit. Tying run comes to the plate. Rowland's third hit of the day.
Roland grounded a single up the middle.
Jay Bell, and here comes Dave Smith. Bell pops it up behind the plate in the stands. Line drive, base hit in the left field, and MV doesn't go quietly. There's
Bell lined
oh,
a single between third and
thrown
short.
out at
Roland caught
third.
off second, 1 out.
I can't believe that, but Roland was thrown out on the base paths. What a dumb base running decision. It showed him going to third and being tagged. The description says he was caught off second, but in any event, he's out, 1 out instead of two runners on and nobody out, 1 runner on, 1 out, and Jackie Robinson.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Now, instead of the bases loaded with nobody out, first and second,
Robinson
1 out.
walked. Bell to second.
Smith facing Ashburn. Deep in the right field. Slaughter can just watch this one, and it's a walk-off home run for Richie Ashburn. And the Red Bolts come back and beat Washington 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th. As somebody once said, how about that? Red Bolts, 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 6 left on. Washington, who led the whole game, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 7 left on. And the Red Bolts take a 3-game lead in the division. As we glance at the box score, we see that Dolland got 3 hits, Moorhead 2. Manchester, everybody got a hit except Roland got 3, Bell got 2, but Ashburn got the one that counted, knocked in 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Winning pitcher, Hammaker went the whole distance, 9 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, struck out 6, walked 2. Lanier went 8 innings, allowed 8 hits, 2 runs. Both of those were earned, struck out 7, walked 2. Smith is the losing pitcher. He gets a blown save. 1/3 of an inning, he allowed that home run. And you guys saw it here. So let's go back and do some simming and see where we're going to end up. Okay, here we go. We're in on September 3rd, Crystal Lake at Lehigh. Lehigh wins 12-6. Edmonton at Beantown. Edmonton 4-3 winners. Union Stewards needs to keep winning, but they lose to Lancaster 5-2. Chicago needs to keep winning. 5-4, they win. Chicago 8 games out. Carolina 7 games out. They are still in it, but they've got some work to do. And this makes the difference. Philadelphia, Real, Chicago, this makes the difference between 1 game out or 2 games out. 5-3, Real, Chicago wins. We move on to the 4th. And Real, Chicago's up, first up, facing Beantown. 4-2 winners, Real, Chicago. Union Stewards trying to keep pace. They win 9-5. Vegas at Manchester trying to slow down the Red Bolts. But the Red Bolts steamroll them 5-1. Ashburn hits another home run. St. Louis at Lehigh, 2-game series here. Lehigh picks up a game on St. Louis. They're now 4.5 back. They win 9-2. Edmonton at home against Philadelphia. Edmonton shut out 5-0. San Francisco at Crystal Lake. 6-0 Crystal Lake. Carolina at Lancaster. Both teams need to win. Lancaster wins and is only a half game out of the playoff spot, held by Carolina now. Real, Chicago facing Beantown to game number 2. They could sure use a sweep, but they don't get it. Beantown shuts them out 6-0. On to the 5th. Union Stewards at home against Chicago. Chicago upends them 8-7. Vegas at Manchester 4-2. Vegas upsets Manchester. CC Sabathia who Vegas got from Manchester earlier this season, wins number 14. Lehigh against St. Louis. St. Louis exacts revenge, 11-2 winners. Philly at Edmonton, 7-3 Philadelphia. Crystal Lake at home against San Francisco, and they squeak by with a 4-3 win. Fox with his 32nd home run. Carolina at Lancaster both need a win, but only Lancaster gets it as they take over third and last playoff spot here early in September from Carolina. And Beantown at Philadelphia, 9-1 Philly. We move to the 6th. Vegas now moves into Washington. Washington beats them 7-2. Beantown at Philadelphia, 10-4 Beantown. Both teams need a win. Carolina at Union Stewart. Union Stewart's wins 9-6. They are now a game and a half back, 4 in the loss column. Lancaster and Chicago, both teams need a win, but Chicago shuts them out 1-0. San Francisco at Lehigh. Once again, Lehigh needs to win. They do 5-4. Cy Young with the win. Real Chicago at Edmonton. 2-0 Real Chicago. Lopat shuts out Edmonton. St. Louis at Crystal Lake, 5-4 St. Louis. And Manchester at Gary could use a win, and they get it, 9-8. We move to the 7th. At the end of the 7th, this is 1 week in the month, we will go over the standings and take a short break, and then we'll come back and do the second week. Lancaster at Chicago. Lancaster wins, holds on to the third and final playoff spot. San Francisco at Lehigh. San Francisco upsets Lehigh. Lehigh now 6 games behind St. Louis for that final spot. Real Chicago at Edmonton. Edmonton hammers them 10-0. St. Louis at Crystal Lake, 7-3 St. Louis. So now they're 5.5 games up on Lehigh. Manchester at Gary. Manchester shuts them out 4-0. If Vegas wins, Washington will drop to 4 games back. If Washington wins, they'll be 3 games back. 3-2 Vegas winning. Robin Roberts over Cooper. That helps out MV as Washington now is 4 games back. Beantown at Philadelphia. Philly wins 8-6. And Carolina at Union Stewards. 4-1 Carolina, as Carolina is a half game out of that third and final spot. As we go to the 8th, let's take a look and see where we are here. Manchester, 4 games up of Washington. They've picked up a game this week. St. Louis right behind them, only a game back of Washington, and they're equal with 55 losses in the loss column. Lehigh, outside chance of catching, but probably not much of a chance. Real Chicago, basically where they were when the month started. They're 2 games ahead of Union Stewart. Lancaster, Carolina, and Chicago all battling for that third and final playoff spot. Let's go to the second week. Let's see. We'll play a game, but let's see what we got. Vegas at Washington. 5-3 Washington. Real looking for a win over Philadelphia. They get it 6-4. St. Louis at San Francisco, 9-2 winners. Edmonton at home against Beantown. They win 7-5. And Lehigh at Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake spins a shutout. 1-0 beats Lehigh, drops them even further back, if not out of it. Here we are in at the 9th. Let's see what we got here for games. Anything that means anything? No. Not on the 9th. Manchester at Washington, 4-2 Manchester. Washington slowly drops in this a firm hold on second or maybe third place, because this will be a tie for second place if St. Louis beats San Francisco. Union Stewards needs a win. They get it 3-0. Carolina and Chicago both need to win. Chicago gets it Chicago now a half game up over Lancaster in that race. St. Louis, will they win and tie Washington? They do not. San Francisco upsets them 5-2. They remain a game behind Washington. Edmonton at home against Beantown wins 5-0. Vegas at Gary, that's an exciting game. 3-1 Vegas. Real, Chicago looking to increase their lead to 2.5 at Philadelphia. Philadelphia upsets them 3-1. That lead back to 1.5 games. We're on to the 10th. Manchester at Washington. Washington wins 5-2, inches a little closer. Real, Chicago at Philadelphia. Philly beats them for the second game in a row, 13-4. That game lead down to 1 game. Well, it'll be down a half a game if Union Stewards wins this one, and they do, 13-7 over Lancaster. Chicago and Carolina battling for that third spot. Carolina wins, and they move into a tie with Chicago for third place. Can St. Louis move a half game closer? They can by defeating San Francisco 4-1. Edmonton at home against Beantown. Beantown wins 2-1. Lehigh at Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake clobbers Lehigh 11-4, essentially knocking Lehigh out of the race. They're 12.5 back now with 3 weeks to go. And Vegas at Gary. Gary wins 2-1. On to the 11th, a short schedule, Beantown at Edmonton, 13-1 Beantown, and Lehigh at Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake shuts out Lehigh, and essentially that's it. You can write home and tell them Lehigh will probably not be in the playoffs as they drop 8 games in the loss column behind St. Louis with less than 3 weeks to go. We're going to stop on the 15th. We're at the 12th. Real and Chicago. Well, let's just auto this. Chicago wins 5-4. There is a tie. Real and Union Stewards. And, well, we may play this game here. Let's find out. Washington at Lehigh. Lehigh wins 2-1. Washington falls to 4 games back. Carolina looking to stay in the race, but Edmonton beats them 7-1. Carolina now falls a game back for that third spot. Vegas at St. Louis. St. Louis wins 9-5. St. Louis now tied. Actually, they're tied 4 games back, but I believe they're ahead in percentage points and in second place. Oh, what the hell. Autoplay it. Union Stewards wins 14-9, and they take over first place in the No More Tears division. Manchester at San Francisco. 4-2 Manchester. 4.5 games ahead now of St. Louis and Washington with a little under 3 weeks to play. Gary at Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake, 2-1 winners. Crystal Lake now is out of their slump, but too little, too late, as they say. Beantown at Lancaster, not for Lancaster. Lancaster still's got a shot, but they lose to Beantown 6-3. Lancaster now falls a game behind Chicago and Carolina in the loss column. We head to the 13th. What games do we have on the 15th? That would be the last day I play. Well, I was thinking of this Edmonton Union Stewards game, but let's see where we are then. Let's make sure we got the 12th. We got the 12th, the 13th. Well, Real Chicago needs to win to get back in a tie at Chicago. Chicago shuts them out 3-0. Washington facing Lehigh. Washington needs to win, but they don't. Lehigh beats them 9-7. Washington now drops to 5 back. St. Louis in second place all by themselves. Manchester, if they win, it's going to be pretty good. But they lose. San Francisco upsets them 4-2. Everybody gets a half game back. Gary at Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake shuts them out, continues their winning ways here in the month of September. Carolina needing a win. They get it 5-4 over Edmonton. Carolina now in a one game back, but they're equal in the loss column. Vegas at St. Louis. 9-2 St. Louis. St. Louis now a game ahead of Washington in second place. Philly at Union Stewards. 2-0. Union Stewards continues their rise to the top. They are a game and a half up on Real Chicago going in to the end of the second week. Lancaster 4-3. Lancaster is remaining close for that third and final playoff spot. Okay, who's asking callers? Yes, who is this Manchester team? Well, they're in first place. Do I play this Real Chicago game now, or do I play the Union Stewards? Who does Real play? They play Lancaster going. Okay, I'm going to play a game on the 15th. Double check the 13th, make sure they're done. 14th, this is the last day we're going to sim. We'll pick a game on the 15th. Real at Chicago. 5-2 Chicago wins, and David's team has taken a beating. They are not doing well this week. Manchester at Lehigh. Manchester wins 9-4. Vegas at Crystal Lake. Vegas wins 9-4. Beantown at Lancaster. Lancaster needs it. I can tell you, they get it 3-2 to keep pace. Edmonton at Carolina. Carolina needs it, but they don't get it. Edmonton beats them. Carolina drops to 9 back and a game back in the loss column for that playoff spot. Gary at St. Louis. 7-3. St. Louis wins. St. Louis now 3.5 back, and they got a shot at MV, Manchester team, for that league leading spot. They've got 2 weeks to make up 3 games. Let's see how Washington can keep pace playing at San Francisco. And they do 5-4, and on to whatever we're going to play for this final game. Let's find out. It's going to include Real or Lancaster, Edmonds, one of these 2 games. Anyway, let's autoplay the rest. St. Louis at home defeats Gary 2-1, 3 games back even. Beantown at Chicago. Chicago wins 1-0. Chicago's been playing pretty good. They now have a 2-game lead on that third and final spot. Manchester at Lehigh. Lehigh wins 5-4. St. Louis closes to 2.5 games behind Manchester. Philly at Carolina. Carolina needs to win. They do 8-1. Carolina's not giving up. Washington at San Francisco. San Francisco upsets them again 3-2. Washington falling 2 behind St. Louis. Vegas at Crystal Lake. 4-3 Crystal Lake wins. Well, let's see. Union Stewards 2 games up. I might even play both of them. Let's play Edmonton at Union Stewards. Garrett Cole pitching for Edmonton. Sandy Koufax. Lineups are in. Sandy Koufax against Garrett Cole here at Yankee Stadium. Sandy Koufax 17-8, 4.41 ERA against Garrett Cole, an unusual 6-12 record, although his ERA is 3.75. It's sunny. Well, good weather. It's not sunny. It's a picture of nighttime. Edmonton starts off with Kiki Kyler in center field, Trainer at third base, Mitchell in left, Ortiz the DH, Grantham at first, Cochran catching, O'Neill in right at short. That's a tongue twister. Geringer at second, Cole doing the pitching in the outfield, Keller, Cobb, and Cullenbine, Jones, Ripken, Gordon, Murray in the infield, Piazza catching, Koufax on the mound. Koufax, last time I did a game with him, he walked like 7 guys. He walked everybody in the house, including a couple of spectators. Okay, we're underway here at Yankee Stadium.
Coiler grounded to first, 1 out. Trainer fly to shallow center, 2 out.
I'm starting to lose my voice here, so I'm not going to say very much, but I'm going to push buttons.
Mitchell fly to deep left center, 3 out. Cobb doubled off the wall down the right field line. Hornsby fly deep down the right field line, 1 out. Murray fly to deep right center, 2 out.
Strike 3.
Keller struck out, 3 out. Ortiz lined a single to right. Grantham bunted out to the catcher, Ortiz to second, sacrifice, 1 out.
Strike 3.
Cochran struck out, 2 out.
Strike 3.
O'Neill struck out, 3 out. Jones doubled between first and second. Ripken fly to deep left, 1 out. Gordon singled between first and second, Jones out at home, 2 out.
Great throw by O'Neill.
Piazza fly to deep center, 3 out.
Go to the top of the third, no score.
Wright bunted to the pitcher, safe on throwing error.
Pummel.
4-6-3.
Geringer grounded to second, second to first double play, 2 out. Coiler grounded to short, 3 out.
Gonna be a close play.
Cullenbine singled on the infield.
Now that's a rare play. A Ty Cobb double play.
Cobb grounded to first, second to first double play, 2 out.
Ball 4.
Hornsby walked.
Strike 3.
Murray struck out, 3 out.
Go to the fourth. No, still no score.
Trainer grounded a single between third and short.
Ball. Out.
Trainer caught stealing second, 1 out.
Strike 3.
Mitchell struck out, 2 out. Ortiz flied to deep right center, 3 out.
Go to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score.
Keller lined a single between third and short. Jones flied to deep right center, 1 out.
That's a double play.
Ripken lined to the pitcher, Keller caught off first, 3 out.
Top of the fifth.
Grantham fly to shallow center, 1 out.
Dead ball.
Cochran hit by pitch.
Strike 3.
O'Neill struck out, 2 out.
Strike 3.
Wright struck out, 3 out.
We're halfway home here at Yankee Stadium. Edmonton, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. And Union Stewards, no runs, 5 hits. They've committed an error. They've left 3 on base. We've got a pitcher's duel going here.
Strike 3.
Gordon struck out, 1 out. Piazza grounded to short, 2 out. Cullenbine grounded to the pitcher, 3 out.
We go to the top of the sixth, no score. Watching this game, I haven't seen Edmonton play very much this year, but they sure look a lot better than a 56 and 81 team to me.
Gehringer fly to right, 1 out.
There's an error.
Coiler grounded to short, safe on throwing error, Coiler to second.
23rd error to the shortstop.
Trainer struck out, 2 out.
Runner still in scoring position. Mitchell to short. Great play. That's always an out.
Mitchell grounded to short, 3 out.
To the bottom of the sixth we go. No score.
Cobb grounded a single between third and short.
What a surprise. Cobb on. And steals his 71st base.
Cobb stole second. Hornsby intentionally walked.
It's up to Eddie Murray to put some life into this team.
Murray fly to left center, 1 out.
Charlie Keller trying to do some damage.
Strike 3.
Keller struck out, 2 out.
Now it's Chipper Jones's chance.
Jones grounded to second, forcing Hornsby at second, 3 out.
We head to the top of the seventh. There's no score in this game. Great pitchers duel. Ortiz up.
Strike 3.
Ortiz struck out, 1 out.
Strike 3.
Grantham struck out, 2 out.
Koufax with his 8th strikeout. Ball down the left field corner by Cochran.
Cochran doubled off the wall down the third base line.
Poor play by the third baseman, Chipper Jones. Go ahead run on second base for O'Neill. He's already made one great play on the field today. And
O'Neill
he's
grounded to first, 3 out.
we head to the bottom of the seventh here at Yankee Stadium. Union Stewards, no runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on. Edmonton, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 4 left on base. Well, we've got a pitcher's duel. Cole and Kovacs, you would expect that, wouldn't you? Ripken coming up, followed by Gordon and Piazza.
Ripken grounded to second, 1 out.
Tate.
Gordon struck out, 2 out. Piazza fly to center, 3 out.
Quick 3 outs. We go to the top of the 8th. Same situation, no score. Wright, Gehringer, and Kyler do up.
Ball 4.
Wright trots down to first base.
Wright walked.
He is a threat to steal. But there's going to be a great play by the shortstop to get the runner at second.
Gehringer grounded to short, forcing Wright at second, 1 out.
Gehringer is also a threat to steal. And we've got a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning.
Coiler grounded to first, second to first double play, 3 out.
To the bottom of the 8th, still no score. Scott Service coming into pitch, replacing Cole. The computer said he was still strong, but he's out of there. O'Neill
Line fly to very deep right, 1 out.
O'Neill makes another great play. And there it is, the first run of the game. Ty Cobb, home run number 34 for the Union Stewards in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Cobb hit a solo homer to right center, 357 feet. Union Stewards 1, Edmonton 0.
I think the computer left Jeff down by taking Cole out. There's another one. No, Mitchell's got it.
Fly to deep left, 2 out.
They were teeing
Murray
off
fly
on
to very
service.
deep right, 3 out.
Here we go. Koufax is only at 105 pitches. He's got plenty left in the tank here in the top of the 9th inning. Union Stewards leading 1-0. Bill Dickey comes in to catch. Hendricks playing right field. We've got some defensive replacements. Chipper Jones across the diamond.
Trainer grounded to third, 1 out.
Mitchell to the left.
Mitchell fly to left center, 2 out.
It's up to David Ortiz. By the way, as a Red Sox fan, I remember David Ortiz in Yankee Stadium in this situation. Koufax better be careful. And that's the game, 1-0. Edmonton loses a heartbreaker. Union Stewards, 1 run, 7 hits. 2 errors, 5 left on base. Edmonton, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 4 left on base. The box score, that was a great game. Here we go. Edmonton, 3 hits, no highlights there. Cobb went 3 for 4. And that was the only run batted in, was his home run. He's going to get, and they give the MVP to Sandy Koufax. I would have given it to Cobb. Anyway, Koufax pitched 9 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, a walk. He's now 18-8. Service gets the loss. Cole pitched 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs, struck out 5, walked 2. Service pitched that 1 inning and made that 1 mistake. There we go. Let's finish simming through the 15th, and we'll be ready to end this season. Real is 2.5 back. Had the Union Stewards lost, I would have played this game, but I'm going to autoplay it. 5-1 Lancaster. Lancaster remains in the battle for the playoff spot, but Union Stewards widens their league leading in the No More Tears division to 3 games over Real Chicago. I would like to apologize to David Landau, who wanted me to give him some wins. I didn't do too well for you. I'm going to zip this up. I will have it posted. 2 weeks to go in the season. There it is. Manchester leading by 2.5 over St. Louis now, 4.5 over Lehigh. Everybody else is out of it. So those playoffs are pretty well set. No More Tears. Union Stewards leads over Real Chicago, who's very much still in it, only 2 games back in the loss column. Where the battle is between Chicago and Lancaster and Carolina for that 3rd and final playoff spot. I want to thank Slash Deep Gaming, Carlos Yaz, Jeff Hunter, David Landau, Mark came in, and whoever Victor Moradi is, thank you for stopping by and checking out Field of Dreams Baseball. I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday evening, and we'll catch you all on Discord.